Hey guys, welcome to the show. Today we're going to be doing a bit of rendering. Now what rendering is turning that block wall into something that looks beautiful like this guy here. So this is how it is from about 5 meters away, and as we come closer, I think it still blends in quite well. Good. Basically just adding a bit of a thin layer of mortar to cover up all that monstrosity design. Some people like that. I like the sexy looking ones behind me. So I'm using a product here. This is acrylic render. So this is basically sand, cement, and a bit of acrylic inside. That makes it a bit more sticky. It's the second time I'm doing this rendering business. I'm looking forward to the results. Clearly it went well because I published this video. So what it tells you to do is mix 3.5 liters of water with a full bag of render. What I found is that sometimes isn't enough, and the best thing to do is just to eyeball it. So let me just give you a demonstration. I just put a good amount of water to start with, and then I just unload the whole render in there. Add a bit more water like that. Then I've got a drill here. I'll put it on level 2. Put it on level 1, so it's nice and slow. This is a paint mixer, and just mix it in. So I can see here that I put a bit too much water to start off with. So I'm just going to add a bit more render in there. So this is actually looking pretty good. It's a toothpastey kind of mix. I'm just going to add a tad more water. And you can see that looks nice and pasty. So that'll be a nice pasty application I could put in there. Alright, so the render's looking nice and pasty. Looks like kind of like toothpaste, like something you want to lick and just eat up. But don't do that, because that's unhealthy. What we want to do is we want to apply it onto the wall. So let's get the paint mixer out. And if you can, wash it off as well, so it doesn't stick to the mixer. You can use it for other products. So next up, you need a couple of trowels. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the render on the trowel, and then use this trowel and spray it upwards there. And hopefully it will stick, and it's going to be fun. You get about half an hour's worth of workability, so you got to be a bit quick. And if it's your first time, don't mix too much, just have a go at it, have a crack, and see how it goes. So I'll get a bit of the render out, stick it on. That's a nice bit right there, just to start off. So when I built this block wall, I left a little kind of like 1.5 centimeter lip between the existing wall and this one, and that's purely for the render. So I want to be spreading this. It doesn't matter if it goes over because we're going to clean that up afterwards, but I want to spread a thick layer all the way to the top and cover this all up. And that's it, we're off to the races. Now straight up, made a bit of mistakes. I decided to put render on the pipe. Not a big deal, because this stuff just washes away. So the easiest way to fill in that gap is if you brush upwards and then just give it a lift to the right, and it starts filling up. So it looks like we're gonna need a lot more render. So I'll continue to mix and apply, but it looks nice and gooey. It's gonna be fun. All right, now at this stage, you might be thinking, what is going on? What is going on? That looks like a mess. But you need to remember, we're just trying to build up layers on the wall. So I'm just pretty much having a giggle, having a bit of fun, just trying to get as much product on the wall. Because again, we're gonna, anything excess, we're gonna get rid of. We're gonna make it look nice and straight. So we just want to build up over the existing blocks, and I'm just having fun with it. Watch to the end. You see how gorgeous this will look? Then you'll take back all that what's going on. You'll be thinking, if that guy can do it, maybe so can I. Let's find out. All right, so the horror show is almost complete. I'm just gonna leave it there for about an hour to set. Then I'll come back to make it nice and clean. But it looks like I'm probably gonna need a couple more bags of render because I wanna fix up all the hollows. So I'm gonna have one go first, make it nice and straight as much as possible. Then I'll go around again, fill up all of the hollows, make it even more square. Exciting stuff. See you in an hour. Ooh la la, drying up real nice, looking pretty damn good if I gotta say myself. So it's about 2 hours since I first started this show and about 1 hour and a half since I left it, something like that. You can see it's drying up gorgeous. This could actually fit in to one of those fancy restaurants over in Sanctuary Cove. Fancy wall, amazing. And you can actually make it look better. So there's two methods, I'll show you. So I've got my little float. I'm just gonna get rid of some of the crumbs. A little circular motion. Just getting rid of the obvious peaks. Gotta say, it's looking like fun. It's just like playing with sand. But now we've done that, it's time to use the perfection tool. So this is just a straight piece of aluminium, totally straight. I'm gonna use this wall as my base. As you can see, I do need to build up more on this side, or I can cheat a little bit and just point it towards it and call it a day. I'm gonna do it properly, based off this wall. So I'm gonna go again with another round. But for now, I'll show you how to do this bit. Swipe up and down, like an iPhone. And just work off the excess. I just want it to flow with this existing wall. So, just gonna, oh, that's looking gorgeous. That's looking real nice. So you can see, if you look at this area here, just look how smooth the wall looks when it's on here. There's a little bit of hollows here, but I'm just gonna put another layer of render because this wall needs a bit of build up here because I wanna make this wall completely straight. So there's no real point playing with this. I could, just for, you know, fun, just tidy up a little bit so it's nice to look at in the meantime. You know, if you wanted to call it a day, you can just go between these two sections and it will look straightish. You probably won't even notice the angle because who goes Inspector Gadget, looks up close at walls? No one. So you can just work it. Just make it look nice and smooth. But I'm not gonna do that because I want to build up the layers, make it go deeper. But let's look at this result, look how smooth this is. So let's just fix it up a little bit. I always have 2 points of contact on the original wall. And that way I can make it nice and smooth. And that's it for now. That looks gorgeous. That looks a great job. So I'll go ahead and add an extra layer, do the exact same thing I did there, and then we're gonna be ready to paint. So just to give it a nice crisp edge, I added a bit of skirting around here, a bit of trim, and this will give me a nice right angle. So when I make it straight, I've got something to lean on. So I'm just locking it into position with a bit of render. Doing it this way means I'm able to know exactly how much hollows to fill. Just makes it a bit easier, and then I can get a nice, clean right angle. All right, so it's been about 4 weeks since I did the rendering. Looking at it, it looks nice and straight, especially the edges. I used a little bit of edging for the edges to make it nice and square. There are a few crevices on the sides. I probably could have done a better job with the sponging just to soften it out. Sponging really makes the render float around in a nice way. So even though I did pad it out with a couple of layers of render, it's not exactly perfect as the concrete walls that was pre-made concrete that was more straight. There are defects on it, but it's not this kind of like rich restaurant rendered finish that is on this side, but mostly kind of like flows in. It looks nice. So, you know, DIY job. I think it's pretty good, and the wall looks nice and strong. And at a distance, you can't really tell. So this is how it is from about 5 meters away, and as we come closer, I think it still blends in quite well. Good. So that is a quick guide on rendering. Obviously not professional degree, but a DIY job. Hope you guys have found this video useful and enjoyed the show.